Ladies and gentlemen, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in for this week's episode of Bridging the Gap from War to Wisdom. And I have a very special guest with me, someone who is near and dear to my heart. But I'm going to pause for a minute and go ahead and allow you all to come in. So do me a favor, tag, share. Invite, tag, share. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, welcome. For those of you who are tuning in from our YouTube channel, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and take just one brief minute to allow others to see the broadcast as we transfer and share it to our other page. So, if you will allow me just about 45 good seconds to allow this post to be shared on my other platform. Tune in. That's what we're going to do. Allow others to share. Come on. Tune in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the month of the military child. And I'm going to tag you, Tyrell, on this here on your Facebook page.
Okay.
I don't do much Facebook, but hey, there it is. Anyway, so for those of you who are tuning, your grandma's on here. I see her. I don't know if you can see the comments and everything that's coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wonderful Wednesday. It is the last Wednesday in April. And of course, we are talking about two things. Last week, we know that there's this is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And we also wanted to make sure that we recognize that it is the month of the military child. So who better to have on the show than one of my very own, the first of the Fantastic Four, my favorite firstborn son. Yes, I have four favorites, but he's my
Whoop, whoop.
firstborn, favorite firstborn. So I'm going to go ahead and open us up in prayer, and then we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. Okay. All right. So if you would just stretch your hand with me. Lord, we just thank you for another day. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for a chance to be able to come into your presence like never before. I thank you for even allowing our guest, my son, to come on and to carve out some time to hang out with mom and just be able to share his experiences and being the oldest and being a military child and some of the things that he had to endure. And hopefully that the things that he shared will be a blessing to those who are watching. I pray for each and every watcher from whatever platform, for those who have shared, those who have military children. I thank you for allowing us to be able to share with each and every one of them. And I pray right now, Lord, that you will continue to plant your hedge of protection around them. Ask all these things in the precious Son of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen, 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 amen. And your dad is watching. Thank you for tuning in. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to introduce to some and present to most. This is the first of the Fantastic Four, my favorite firstborn. This is Tyrell Crockett, but of course he goes by his public figure name, King Rail. So
King everything.
I'm gonna let
Sorry,
him
I'm sorry. It's fine.
introduce himself to you. The floor is yours, son. Take it away.
How you guys doing? Obviously, this is my first ever stream, so I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you who do tune in, those of you who will be watching this later, just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. It's going to be a very good session. I feel like we'll talk about some really good stuff. Got some good topics on hand, so it's going to be real fun. I'm excited.
You didn't do that. Okay, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Oh
Okay, okay.
I'm
You
not
supposed to
done
come
yet though. I'm
fire.
not done yet. Man, what's good, stream man? It's your boy, man. King on this thing, and we back, man. We back in another stream, man. It's gonna be fun today. I will say that.
He's a YouTuber, ladies and gentlemen. Check him out on YouTube. He has an amazing broadcast. He does a lot of different things. So I wanted him to introduce himself as you would, those of his followers would normally know him as. So I wanted him to come back and he had to go back and do that thing again. So let me just thank you all to the family who's watching. I see a lot of you tuning in. Jeremy, mom, hello, hello, hello. Thank you, Auntie. And so we're just going to jump right in. Of course, we said already this is the month of the military child. So of course, I have to ask you this question: what and how do you feel about first and foremost being a military child?
So first and foremost, I will say everything happens for a reason. So I feel like being a military child it was a fun experience. It still is a fun experience. You get certain perks, you get certain advantages, um, and then yeah, of course it has its trials and tribulations at some points. But I will say overall, it's definitely a great experience. Great experience. Met a lot of new people. Great people that really helped out a lot. Some male figures that I still talk to this day, which I still appreciate, and they know who they are. So I appreciate them as well, giving me some guidance, especially with football, school, just being a man and taking on certain challenges every day. You know, being a black man in America, they talk to me about that as well. So it has its pros and cons. I will say that.
So give us some of those pros and cons. So, we hear the good things about being able to meet new people and go new places. What are some of the things that you think are some of the cons of being a military child?
Um, Being a military child, the cons I will say is obviously one. Obviously is going the person that your parent going off to different countries and stuff for long periods of time, 6 months, a year and some change, 2 years, etc., etc. I was grateful that my mom didn't. She the longest she was away was a year, so that that was pretty cool. Met a lot of new people, did a lot of great things. Obviously, it was hard. I will say that, especially when you have three younger brothers that are asking, where's mom and when she's coming back. Amped and pumped, just like I was amped and pumped. It was hard. I will say it has its pros and cons as well. To
So do you think that during that time when I was away, do you think that it allowed you and your brothers to bond, and did it make our relationship more difficult, or do you think it allowed us to become stronger because I was away? And I know I miss you guys. I know you guys miss me, but because
mhm.
of the time difference and everything, do you think it helped you guys to become stronger? Because I know sometimes with family, with the parents being away, sometimes the children tend to have some issues. So, do you think that that was a good thing or a not good thing?
It definitely made our bond tighter. I will say, definitely made me as the oldest. Of course, I had to step up into that role. Um, as being the oldest, you got to put down certain rules and regulations because if not, then they will be doing just about anything. But luckily, I have three great, amazing young brothers that know what right and wrong is like. But
Mm.
I ain't really have to. Of course, I had to step up. Like I said, um, it's hard because mom she has total different way of doing things than I do, and fill that role is trying to fill that role is kind of hard, especially when sometimes they're young, so they're not going to always listen to what you're saying. Especially as the older brother, they think that you're trying to get them into some trouble or something. But I will say, yeah, it was pretty good. We made our bond tighter. As far as me and you go, it definitely it impacted a lot. I will say that. It had it made me upset. Like why is military taking her away again? What is she going over there? What is she doing over there? I hope she's safe. And then not being able to talk to her like on the phone, you have to WhatsApp her and stuff like that. It's kind of hard. And then the picture quality on WhatsApp is not but the greatest over there, so it's kind of hard to really see how she's doing, how she's looking. Is she the same? Is she good? Make sure she's eating well, everything like that.
So I think, and I'm seeing some comments too, from Jeremy, and he was saying he's saying the same thing. It made him help make him a well-rounded person,
Mm,
as far as being, having a parent that's in the military. I think for both the parent and the child, we're always looking and trying to, like we're concerned about one another. It is difficult. It is very difficult to be away from your children and to
mm,
know that in your mind, no matter who it is, that you feel that there's nobody else that can take care of your children better than you. And I think for the children, they may feel that there's nobody that can take care of me better than, my parents. And so I think that was part of the challenge, was to, although I was concerned, but I couldn't show that sense of, my concern to you, and, like, show the tears and everything that I miss you guys as much as I did, because I wanted you all to be strong, and I didn't want you to worry with me being away. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that, when I was away for a period of time, there was a lot of things that happened. You grew up, you had to be there, like you said, you had to step up, and be that big brother that
Mm-hmm.
you may or may not feel that you had the opportunity, you had the chance to really fill that role to the best of your ability. You didn't know what to say, you didn't know what to do, especially when sometimes your brothers were acting out. So what
Mm-hmm.
were some things that helped you stay grounded when there was some challenges, even with school and with your brothers?
As far as school goes, I had a I will keep it honest because we're on the stream. So I will say, the first time that you did go away, it was kind of hard. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. Um, Obviously transitioning, we had school coming up. I was trying to play sports. I couldn't play sports because I had to make sure that they were straight, which I have no problem with that because they're they're going to be great people. I feel like in today's society, so I'm not really too worried about them. As far as school and balancing it out, it was kind of hard because sitting in class, making sure they ate lunch, making sure that they get off on the bus right, make sure they get off the right bus stop, making sure they have stuff after for dinner, make sure every stuff like that. It was it was a challenge. It was challenging, I will say, when I was younger. But as far as when I grew up, grew older, I realized I sat them down and I was like, okay, well, she's gone for a year, so yeah, I know we got to do this again. So, but they were good. They were straight, amazing, amazing. They understand. They listen to me, and they did a good job.
But what about you? So I know that, it's easy to kind of jump into that role because you've been the oldest, your whole life. So did you ever have any moments where you just really, felt overwhelmed? So, like, I can't do this anymore. I don't, like, this is really hard. I have to look out for my brothers. I have to try to figure out what's going on with me. Was there ever a time when you felt too much?
Yes, I will say that. Especially in class, I will say overthinking it got the best of me. Especially when I'm getting older, and I'm like, well, okay, when she's coming, when are you coming back? So it's like, okay, all right, so we gotta step up, and it got the best of me. It got me emotional sometimes, but nothing I couldn't handle. You prepared me the right way. I will say that you taught me certain things that I should show them, and it was all easy after that.
So that's good to hear. Did you ever have any moments where you said, you know what, I don't know if mom's coming back. So in the event that mom doesn't come back, what are we gonna do?
I like I said when I sat them down and I talked to them, I was like, okay, we got to do this again. They were very understanding. They knew I had their back 100% of the way. I know that they trust me. Um, they look up to me, and I know that they might not say it every day, but I know deep down that they have a certain level of respect, a certain level of loyalty and love for me to understand that okay, yeah, Big Brother's got it, so we don't got to stress as much. So I'm gonna just let him take the reins, let him do the discipline, let him do all the disciplinary actions, especially when they acting up in school like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, but
So so now that you're older, I'm back, and things are a little bit different. And now that you're away, because
mm,
so I know this may sound really strange because because now I'm looking at you, and now you're away in college and doing, life, it's still a challenge for me sometimes, because as I watch you all grow, you know, uh, I'm probably one of the only parents that still get teary eyed when their children go to the next grade every year, every year. So
Every year.
I know, as after I, walk everybody to class, because I don't get to walk them to class anymore because they too big for that. They too grown, but
Of course, of
I,
course, of course.
what I mean, but after, on day one, I'll say this: on day one, it was a challenge for me because, as left to go to college last year, that was a part that was a challenge for me, because I'm like, wow, one of my big helpers, he's gone, because you were always the big helper. You were that, they would listen to you and they'll listen to your voice. And it's like, okay, big brother says this, or I'm following what big brother says. And
Yeah.
now that you're in college and
Yeah.
you're taking care of life, it's a little different. So
Mhm.
what is so awesome is that what the conversations and things that you have with your brothers, and I love that you guys have an awesome relationship, that y'all communicate with one another. They have learned to step in. They've learned to step in and just step up and just fill in. You see what your dad said. You're not on the witness stand. They've learned to step in and just, kind of fill in when I had to be away. Like, I had to be away this weekend. And so it was okay. I know we're home. We have to do our chores. We have to do this, certain things that are expected. And it
Mhm.
wasn't to be mean to you all, because I think that, there was a point when, some of y'all thought, mom's just being mean, mom's just being really mean and bitter and so on and so forth. But
Yeah.
yeah, y'all had a whole slew of chores, all kinds of chores. But
Yeah.
it really was to help mold you and shape you into who I needed, who I would like to have seen you become. We all still have some growing to do, but I know that those are some of the things that were really concerning to me. But I know as the oldest was the most difficult, because it was everything kind of fell in your lap. And it's like, okay, as an oldest child, I'm the oldest, you're the oldest, and it's tough. It's tough to, kind of fill in those shoes and say, you know what, I got to take care of this, I got to take care of that. And then you have to start thinking for other people, where you may not be used to thinking for your brothers. You're used to just getting up, going to school, doing what you have to do, and just go on.
Yeah.
So share some of your fun experiences as a result of being in the military. What's something that you remember
Okay.
that was really exciting?
Going to
Not you,
certain parties and events.
not you being in the military, but me being in the military. Because I said you being in the military, but I mean me being in the
Oh,
military.
okay. I understand what you said. Um, like I said, meeting new people. Obviously, that's definitely number one. Develop great friendships, great relationships with great people. They still look out to me to this day.
Mhm.
Still send me love, send me all types of great, great, great support. Um, as far as other pros, it's definitely the parties, hands down. The Christmas parties, of course, great food. Um, being at other people's houses, having fun. It didn't matter what we did. So it's four different personalities. So we're gonna find something to do,
Oh yeah.
whether it gets us in trouble or not. So
So I remember all the Christmas parties with the cutouts and all the fun stuff. I think it got to a point where I think I was a little bit tired of me when the last Santa Claus, the last time we had the Christmas party, and I think you were probably taller than Santa. And we're like, okay, you gotta take pictures with Santa Claus. And he was like, no, for real, mom. Like, I'm too old for this. And so sometimes it was more or less like, like we say, we gotta take, you had to take one for the team. Everybody had to come in and take pictures with Santa Claus, just for the sake of, just taking pictures. But even in that, I'm glad that you weren't bitter about it, because I know sometimes, I was gone for a long time. It was a lot of long hours, a lot of early mornings, a lot of late nights. A lot of times I had to drag you to formations with me. A lot of times, a lot of times you were
Formations, PT, all that.
doing PT, you know. So, um, did were there ever times when I know we did a lot of late nights where we're in meetings and conference calls and even when we're trying to eat dinner at night, I'm on conference calls 2 3 nights a week. Were you ever you ever get to a point where you were angry with me being in the military? Like, man, this is too much. You're taking my mom away from me. Did you ever feel like that?
Of course, every time that you left, all the conference calls, because as you're on the conference call, I have to step into that older brother role and make sure that they're quiet, make sure that they're not doing anything that they're not supposed to do. But as far as military goes, yeah, I despise it to this day. I hated that it took you away. But like I said, everything happens for a reason, so I just accepted that role. I enjoyed it. I definitely had fun.
So I know that that was a hard part, and that was something that for a long time it was just like, okay, I'm done. Like I wanted to be done, and I think you may have even been excited when I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not doing this military stuff no more. But then I don't know if you remember a conversation that you and I had, and you said, "But mom, why would you quit?" And I was like, I'm done because I felt like it was taking me away from you guys, and you guys started to act up more because every time I would go away and then come back, it was like I had to take a and reprogram you to doing something different. So I don't know whether that was you guys being rebellious, and you can tell us the truth, or whether that was just you just being you.
It's not. It's not that at all. It's not being rebellious at all. It's just things were, of course, where you were away. Things were set a certain way, so we were used to that, and it was working. Like, okay, make sure they on the bus. They had on the bus at a certain time because they're in elementary school. I'm in middle and high school, so I got to make sure that they're on the bus and make sure they're not acting up because you know how boys are. They as they get older, things change. They learn about more stuff.
All
So
four of y'all.
and they
All
come,
four.
yeah, and then it's four different personalities as well. And sometimes, of course, we're gonna clash, but at the end of the day, we all reel it in and we get it done.
Yes. So I think that was for me. That was part probably the part that was okay. This military children. I don't know which one, but that was more or less just trying to, you know, teach us a sense of discipline, not just for you guys, but for me too, with doing things that I needed to do. But if we had to do it over and you had to make a choice, would you say, Mom, just keep on staying in the military, or would you just say, you know what, this is it. I don't want to, this is not for us.
Um, with the boys being at the age that they are, Jordan in high school, Jeremiah headed to high school, and Antoine headed to middle school. I would do it again. I would definitely do it again because they're older now, so they know like right and wrong. Antoine, he's the youngest, so he's still learning, but he's picking up what we're doing. Because like you always said, they always follow behind me, which is true.
Hmm?
And so yeah, I would definitely do it again. Because they listen to me, and when you were away, certain things were said. So I think that if you were to go away again, or something was to happen where you would have to be full time military again, I feel like it would be good.
We
So I would say you can definitely go back in the you can get active in the military.
no, we're no, no, hun. Mm-mm. No, that's I think that that time that boat has sailed. Yeah, that was the last part. No, I think we're good with that. I think because when I came back, anything I should know that are there anything I should know that y'all did while I was gone? That's the question that he wanted to know. What did y'all do while I was gone?
While we were gone,
While I was
we didn't
gone,
really we didn't really do anything. I mean, of course, we had our bad moments, but that comes as a kid. I mean, no kid is perfect.
About the bad moments because
Oh, okay.
yeah, I know y'all have a very interesting way of sticking to the bro code, as y'all say. And oh yeah, I know about the bro code. And so there's things that y'all did, to make yourself have fun while I was gone that your dad, I think, is trying to remind us of. Um
Oh man,
and
why is
Jackie,
he trying to set us up?
I mean, I call y'all Fantastic Four, but I know that there was some things that
Oh
y'all
man.
done while I was gone. She said y'all did something.
So, are you asking what's the worst thing that we did, or
No, I
uh,
don't even know. I don't know if I want to know what the worst thing is, but go ahead and tell me. Enlighten me.
probably act up in school, talking in class? I mean, that's the worst thing. Nobody really got suspended while you was gone.
Tyrell. And your dad said talk. Your dad said speak up. I don't know about that. Um, right, because that's what
I
somebody.
can't, I can't think of anything right now.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, he has a temporary memory loss. He doesn't remember anything that happened from back in the was been days because only memories have are good memories. And he said that they have a bro code, so he is sticking to the bro code. So we will never find out those answers until the bro code is broken, and they're not going
Oh my goodness.
to.
Nah,
But the
nah.
pastor
I mean,
wants you to be
huh?
more specific. She said,
Oh man.
no, some things. No, I mean, even some not so good times and some good times. What are some things that you guys did? What are some things that you did to entertain yourself while I was gone? Because first of all, I know with you, it was the four of you guys, and then your uncle Dominic. It was what, five of them in the house, so a total of nine children in the house at one time.
Yeah, nine
And
kids. Nine
seven of them
kids.
were boys. So I know that between the seven of y'all boys, there y'all had to find interesting ways to entertain yourself. So let us know, the inquiring minds want to know. The microphone is yours now.
All right. So the microphone is mine. So I will say, we had a lot of football games, most definitely. A lot of basketball, a lot of sports being played. We played a lot of sports. Um, went a lot of places. We had a lot of fun, especially in the house. We made fun, hide and go seek. Basic games like tag. We just had fun. Bad things
How
while
did
we,
you say hide and go
huh?
seek in the house?
Yeah, hide and go. The house is big enough.
Oh, okay, so we play hide and go seek in the house. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, of course. You've never played hide and go seek as a kid in the house?
No, because I would have got my face beaten. No, because I would have got a mud hole stomped in my back. We didn't play in the house. That's what the outside was for. You got to
No.
remember, I'm a 70s baby, so we didn't play hide and go seek in the house. No, we jumped rope outside. We played
Well,
outside.
what
We didn't
what
play
I
in the
will
house.
say is when we first got down here it was like February, so we really wasn't going outside like that because it was cold. So we
Oh,
played hide and go seek in the house,
oh, okay, okay. Hmm.
and
Interesting.
no one's trying to play hide and go seek in the cold outside because
Of
then
course,
you cold and you gotta find people.
of course
That's
not,
not
because
fun.
it's cold and we turned out just fine.
That's the '70s. Y'all ain't had no electronics and nothing like that.
Whoa, wait a minute now. We had speak and spell and a couple of other things. So let's not go there with the electronics. And so electronics, in my opinion, cripple some of you. And now you guys don't want to. This all you do. You only get exercise in your fingers. We actually went outside. We had a little milk crate that was hung on the light pole. We played wall ball and things like that. We played double dutch. We made it fun and interesting. Hopscotch, Chinese jump rope, things like that. You guys don't know how to tap into your creative minds and play things other than hide and go seek in the house where y'all can tear the house up.
Basketball in the house. We played football in the house. We played everything in the house. We was outside too. We was outside. Well, you know how we was outside every day, just
Maybe
about. Except for like when it's really really cold. Like, cause North Carolina weather, I will say, is very bipolar. So you don't know when it's gonna snow. They could say on the news channel that it's gonna be sunny, but it might snow. So we didn't really know. So we just stayed in the house.
Absolutely.
Um, and no one felt like bundling Antoine, Jacob, and Jayla all up in jackets and then going outside. So we just stayed in the house. It's big enough, so might as well.
So what I think I hear you saying is that while the adults were away, you guys figured just play in the house because it was too much work to wrap the younger kids up and take them outside.
I mean, yeah, no parent wants their kids outside when they're not home.
Oh, that's the
So
that's what you're sticking to. We don't want you outside when we're not home, but we also don't want you playing football hide and go seek in the house, son. But okay.
I mean, you don't want us outside, so we gotta have some type of fun somewhere. And it's 9 kids in the house, so we had to do what we had to do.
Absolutely. So that's some of the things I think are exciting. I remember when we were living in the Fort Meade area, and you guys, we're always different people's houses. That's I think that's one of the pluses of being in the military. Aside from like being with Uncle Dominic and having all the your cousins and everybody there, being in the military is the same thing. It's a different community, but you get to meet, like you said, a lot of people from all different backgrounds and all different walks of life. And so you come together because your parents are in the military, or your guardian is in the military, and
Mm.
you learn how to get along and grow during those times. And I remember, I don't remember the little boy's name. I just remember he lived down the street from us, and y'all play football and
Mm.
basketball and all different other things together. Now, do you think that if I wasn't in the military and we were just, grew up on a block, then things would be different for where you are now?
Yeah, most definitely.
How?
Um, as far as the military goes, you know that you're protected. Certain things you can and can't do. Certain things you can't speak about. And being in a house with a mom that's in the military. I'm sorry. There's certain things that you can't do because, I mean, she's in the military. She can. So I'm not gonna say too much, but
I'm
discipline
going
with
to tell a story.
with mom in the discipline with mom in the house with her being in the military. It was not the greatest.
What do you mean it wasn't the greatest? I was not disciplined.
I was disciplined. We were all disciplined. I'm saying as far I can't say it. You know what I mean.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you. We didn't hear you, sir.
We used to get our hips tore up. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Oh, for good reason though, right?
Of course, for good reason. We didn't think it was a good reason at the time. Of course, we mad and upset that it happened, but
Mhm.
we the reason we walked ourselves into it. So
It's so good that you're old enough now to understand and walk into it and accept responsibility for your actions and everything, because that's part of growth. And the good thing is that we can laugh together, we can joke together, we can be serious together, and that's the thing that I think is really important in a household, especially with parents and children. But we also understand that there are boundaries. Like we have boundaries. Like we can laugh and joke, but then you know when I have a certain tone in my voice that I mean business. And so just knowing that is very important. And it sometimes can be a challenge because at the end of a long, long, long day, the last thing that you want to do is come home and yell at your kids. The last thing you want to do is is just create like a hostile environment, because you have to have some type of peace at home in order to focus on your things that's going on the job. And depending on what your job is, really does make a difference. But for children who are in the military and have military parents and guardians and things like that, what are some things, some advice that you can give them if they're really struggling with being away from their family, their moms or dads?
I would definitely say find the best communication possible. Make sure that you talk to them. Because those I didn't say it to you while you were away, but even the little words that you had said on the phone, it kind of made me okay understand like okay, I got this in the bag. I can make sure my brothers are straight. I can do everything. So I just say definitely keep that open communication. Um, just know that there's people that is going to take care of you. Definitely people that you talked to that while you were away checked up on us, make sure that we were good. So that was a good thing. So you will be taken care of. Mm, something else, something else. I can't really think of anything else. That's
What about
that's about it.
that's really struggling with adjusting? Let's say they're with a family member that they may not feel comfortable with because they really were kind of forced to be there because their mom and dad is away, or mom or dad is away. What is
Mm.
something in that you would say to them to encourage them that just because their family member is away, that doesn't mean that that's the end of the world and that they can move forward? What are some things that you can some insight that you can give them?
As far as insight on what you can do while they're away, I would say find something to ultimately distract yourself from that. Obviously, my distraction was football. I started taking football more serious. I was starting to work out, make sure my brothers are working out, and just build and grow a bond. If you do have siblings, if you don't have siblings, find a bond that you can definitely latch onto and make it make sure that person is uplifting you and keep that distraction for when. See, I was distracted with football, so make sure that I still kept that open communication, like I said.
So good distractions. So you want to do something,
Of course, of course, of course, of course. Good distractions, not bad distractions.
yeah.
I
So
would
you got to
say,
find something that's
oh, go
going.
ahead.
So what if that person, and this is mainly for for people that don't really have anybody. What if they're in a place where there's no one really their age around, and they're really struggling in school, and they don't really have athletic ability, so to speak? What else could they possibly do?
Find something that you love doing and keep going with that. Uh, Most definitely, like I said, football. I took that more serious, and that's just athletic. Even if I wasn't athletic, I would probably do probably music. And I'm just throwing that out. I don't do music, but I would take music more serious. Keep singing, keep listening to different music. Uh, do a YouTube video, something like that.
So I
Just
know
find something you love doing and keep going and build on that.
your brothers are all different. All of y'all, like you said, the four of you all have different personalities, which I think is amazing and very interesting all at the same time. Uh,
Mm.
when I was gone, did you find it sometimes a challenge to help them grow and develop in the area that they love?
Um, yes and no. Uh, with Jordan and with Antoine and Jeremiah, like I said before, they were looking up to their older brother, so they followed me as far as football and sports and stuff like that. Jordan, I will say, it was harder to connect, and a lot of people that watched us grow up will say that now me and Jordan's bond is real close, especially after the last time that you had left. As far as Jordan, we related to just being able to talk to people. We had the gift of gab, which a lot of people say. So he inspired me to do YouTube while you were gone.
Hmm. And so let's talk about that, because I was going to jump into that next. I know that you had talked about it for some time. And, for those of you who are watching, he is on YouTube and he is on the road to 1K. King Rail is the name, as you see. We know his name is Tyrell, but of course, his name on YouTube is King Rail. And so in on his YouTube channel, it is a true depiction of him and his personality. And that's what I love. I love that he didn't take the same approach and kind of follow someone else and what someone else is doing and what other YouTubers are doing. That Tyrell took his approach and took it to a whole nother level, and it's elevated. And I every time he drops the videos, they're really, really interesting. And there's a lot of character in there. There's a lot of funny. There's a lot of serious. It's a balance. It's a healthy balance of everything. So I think that that really helped you grow and mature, because that was something that, as I watched from your first video up until the ones that you have out now, I'm watching you grow up right before me. And, there are times that I felt that I may have missed out on some of those important things because I was away. And being able to see you, shine in your gift is like, wow, these are some of the things that, I can see that have developed over the years. So talk to us about your YouTube channel and, what really inspired it and what keeps you inspired going.
Um, well, like I said, a lot of times that we we're not able to go outside, so we're just sitting in the house, we're just watching YouTube videos, and I think it was we were all sitting there watching a video, and it was like, Tyrell, why don't you do that? And I was like, I don't got the right equipment, but I did have the right equipment. I just wasn't using my computer. My computer was for school-based purposes only, and I had just got it, and I didn't know how to use it yet. So that's just when I just okay, like let me give it a shot. So I tried it, made a video, and then I deleted it. And then I was like, okay, let me try it again. So I did it again, and I deleted it. I just wasn't confident in myself, and that's when I just made the third one. And I let Jordan, Jeremiah, and Antoine watch it first, and they said, okay, that's really, really good. And I was like, are you sure? And I just kept asking, you sure? You sure? You sure? Like I probably showed them the first video, like 100 times. They got so tired of watching it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna put it out. So I put it out, and a lot of people they was like, okay, yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I was like, okay, just gotta come up with another video idea. That's when I did the little prank on Jeremiah, and a lot of people loved that. So I was like, okay, I like doing this. So I do another one to keep going. I'll keep going. I'll keep going. I was like, wow, like I really like doing this. I like seeing people laugh, people laughing at me. I was like, maybe I got a future in this. So I just want to keep going, see where it takes me.
And so that's the part that I admire the most about you, is that you don't realize that you inspire me to keep going, because you never told me until just now, but I knew that you hesitated on putting your video out there because you didn't think that it was quality worthy. But I have to, remind you that you told me when I first started, Mom, it doesn't matter. It's not about you trying to look like everybody else. You have to do what's best for you, and you have to keep
Mm,
going. You can't allow anything to hinder you from being able to do what God is telling you to do. So it's great to hear that, you feel the same way I feel. And for those who do any type of live or speaking or anything that interacts and makes you puts you in an uncomfortable situation, there's always some reservation and hesitation with doing things because you want to be received well. But the thing is really following the path that's already been laid for you, and being confident in knowing that what you're doing will have an impact, and as long as you're doing the right things, you're not just out here just, doing something crazy, flipping over trash cans and, and just, shooting up, rounds in the air and things like that. So I knew
of
about it.
course.
I knew about it because there's a lot of things that sometimes in the bro code I hear about, because you guys, the Fantastic Four. You can't hide everything from mom. Mom knows, something. We got eyes in the back of our head and everything. But it's good to
Yeah.
see grow. It's good to know that, as you're moving forward in your YouTube career, and as you become monetized and doing other things, it is good to watch you grow. And it's good to see that, wow, this little person that I used to hold with one hand at 6 pounds and 5 ounces is now, out and doing amazing things in life. So it's good to see those things, and it's good to be able to share this space with you, because you could have said no. You could say, Mom, look, I'm too old for this. I don't have time for this. Other things to do. But,
Mm.
you know, it feels good to know that you still take out time to spend with mom. And that means the world to me. It really means a lot. So I thank you for that. So tell us how we can find you on YouTube. I know, but I want to
Mm.
put your info.
Um,
What is it, King Braille?
it is. It's exactly the same name that you guys probably see across here. I'm pointing to it. I don't know if you guys can see it the same way I'm looking at it, but this the same way it's right here.
Okay, just like that. So on
Yes,
YouTube,
ma'am.
let me edit it. This is so that way they can see follow on YouTube, so they can go and follow you. So for those who are going to come back and even watch on a replay, they'll be able to see your information on there. Okay, so they can follow you on YouTube at King Rail. Once you plug in your YouTube, make sure that you go to the YouTube channel and you plug in on King Rail, and he does some funny pranks. You might see a cameo of me and his brothers in there. I think the four of you,
Yeah,
three of you guys did did one together. We
we
did.
did. We definitely did do one together, and it's many more. It's many more on the way. So.
It's a yeah. So just to talk about, so let's switch the subject really quickly to daily life. What is a day in the life of King Rail?
Right now we just working. Busting out as many videos as we can, going different places. Last week we were in Charlotte. We went to the Charlotte Hornets game, so I did a little video up there that I'm about to put out. Um, got some more stuff. We really just find spots where people was playing, where people are at. And we was like, all right. I look at DJ and I was like, all right, you know what time it is. I give him a look like, and he's like, all right, I got the camera. He was like, all right. So um, right now, like I said, we working. Uh, do videos when I get time when I get home. I got I got so many on the way. So many great content like different people that supported me and showed me love. So
That's good. That's always a blessing to hear that there's people that are constantly supporting, even when your children are away, there's people that's still supporting your children while they're away, and to know that even when you're away, you're still never that far away. And he does, ladies and gentlemen, still pick up the phone and call. So that's a good thing. He will still pick up the phone and call me, and so that's always a plus, because sometimes, once they get to a certain stage in their life, you know you know parents don't exist anymore, so I'm grateful for that.
oh man,
So before we get ready to close out, with our I'm gonna take this off really quick so I can see my camera went up. I don't know what happened here. um so before we get ready to close out, is there any are there any final thoughts for anyone here about you,
um
that you want us to know about you, so follow? I know we're getting ready to change over at the end of the school year, get ready to get back into school and get in the swing of things, and football season's right around the corner. So I know we'll be following you on that. Anything else?
yeah, I got a question. You had asked me what it was like for me um being while you were away. How was it seeing us grow up while you were away?
Interesting question. So I think grow while you were away, while I was away, it was different, because where I really couldn't give 100% of my focus to you guys because I don't know what's happening. I couldn't give 100% of my focus to you guys because of the fact that I did not want to get so emotional that the things that was going on around me in the mission, I didn't want to lose focus and allow those things. So I had to kind of take that time, talk to you guys, bubble it all up, seal it tight, and then get back over and focus on the mission. So I had to kind of block out that for a minute while I was away. And to watch you all growing where you're doing things that you weren't doing when I left, that it hurt. It hurt because, I felt like I was missing, important parts of your life. I
Mm,
felt that while I was away, you guys kind of grew up because when I came home, it wasn't the same as when I left. When I left, it was mom, can you help me with my homework? Mom, can you help me with this? You guys went from being independent, from being dependent to more independent. And it made me feel as if I didn't matter anymore. It really hurt. It got to a point where I was like, okay, nobody needs me anymore. Mom's not needed anymore. Mom doesn't, have a place. So all I have to do is just get you up, make sure you get to school, and that's it. Every time I would try to remind you of things that I used to do before, like don't forget your lunch, don't forget your book bag, don't forget, you have a test, let's study for the test. Oh, mama, I already studied because my brother studied with me, or I studied when I was in school. So to go from me helping you and doing quizzes and reading over papers and things like that to just kind of being in the background, I felt unimportant.
mm,
Yeah. For- Until I learned the routine. Because when I came back, you guys had a different, so I was angry because I, I had to go back and learn your routine to understand how to flow with you guys instead of trying to
mm,
do the way I used to do it before because a whole year had passed.
yeah.
So it was different. It's different. It was different in a good way though. Because it was good to see you guys grow, but it was hard to see you grow because it hurt that I missed a lot of, especially birthdays. I missed all the birthdays. I missed, you know, important days, I like to be there for events that y'all had at school, banquets, and all of your award ceremonies and things like that. So I missed all of that, and that is what it really hurt to miss all of those things. The first day of school, all I could do was be on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you trying to make mommy cry on the camera? I'm not.
No, I just had to ask the question.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. But I mean, it's always a pleasure to sit back, and I think every year when it's a birthday, it really makes me think. And I always think back to the day you guys were born on birthdays, and I was like, Man, I remember when you were this size, and remember.
Small.
Right? Yes, because I think, well, of course, you remember your brothers, and of course, Antoine, because there's an 8-year difference between the two of you, so you remember that day because you were there at the hospital, um, when I had him. But
Mm,
it's just different. It's just different. And now all of you guys are taller than me, so
of course, of course.
yes, everybody's taller than me. So, but it's okay. I mean, it's good because I know that you weren't going to be little forever, and I had to realize that. Uh, I don't fault the military for that. I don't fault anything. I was grateful for my experiences in the military and still grateful. Now, I think you and I talked about last night how this was the first time in a long time that I really was able to feel like I was back into the swing of things for because now mentally, physically, psychologically, everything is kind of lining up the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but any final thoughts? Any other questions?
No, ma'am. I have no other questions.
No. Are you sure you have no other questions?
Yeah, I have no other questions.
Well, do you have any final thoughts? Any final words? Any last minute? Oh, by the ways.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that uh, supported, joined in, and those of you that's going to watch later down the line. Um, just keep tapping in. So you're doing a great job with this. I just want to say thank you for having me on. Uh, Shout out to Wave. Shout out to every business that you got booming. You're doing amazing, amazing things. So keep going. And like you tell me, even though I tell you, and I tell a lot of other people, trust the process.
That's it. Beast mode. That's our little thing. We always pound each other and hit the beast mode button because that's something that we turn up the beast mode when it's time for us to get work done. So yes, we trust the process. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I know I asked you, but I'm gonna ask you again to close us out in prayer. And for those of you who are watching, before you close out in prayer, first and foremost, do not forget, please go and follow King Rail on YouTube. He Make sure you follow him. We want to subscribe to his channel, or as he would say, like, follow,
Comment,
turn on
subscribe.
notifications, right? You got to do it so they know that's what you're supposed to do. So
Like, comment, and subscribe. The little bell thing. It's gonna be a bell thing beside the subscribe button. Turn that on, and so you'll know when I drop these amazing videos with these amazing people.
when he drops those amazing videos. But ladies and gentlemen, it has been such a pleasure. This is our last Wednesday. Of course, we're ending out Sexual Assault Awareness Month and the month of the military child. And it was an extreme pleasure to have my firstborn here to join me as a guest here. I'm so excited for all the amazing things that he's doing in his life and all of my children. There's no one above the other. There's just a separation and a difference in the time that they've been here on this earth. And I tell them that all the time. I have a fantastic four. This is my favorite firstborn, and then all of them are all my favorite in their respective place. So I thank you all for tuning in. I pray that something was said or done to help inspire you and encourage you. For those who are in the military, keep going. If you need help, we do have an advocacy program. We have counseling sessions. We have a space and time and things available. You can find us at womenachievementvictory.org, and you can subscribe to receive the counseling sessions with one of our paid partners, Legacy Counseling, that will assist with that. For those of you who are business owners and would love to connect with us, we would love to connect with you. Please put your information in the comment box so we can connect with you and potentially have you as sponsors and or partners so we can move things forward, because we're always sending care packages to our service members that are overseas, and we would love to. And I know Tyrell and I are going to work on this, but I'm not going to let the whole cat out of the bag. We're going to put a little bit out. We are working to help with the military children, so that's why we wanted to have him come on. We're looking to work with the family members, because we know that sometimes as children it is a challenge. That's why we had him come in. He's 19 going on 20, ladies and gentlemen, and so he's
Yeah,
for some hardships. He's been a military child his whole life because he's been experiencing getting picked up and moved around and shuffled left and right. But he can give you some insight on that. And so we have that program that's coming, and he'll be talking about that more on his YouTube channel as well. But we also want to follow him and encourage him to keep moving forward in the things that he's doing in his career. And I'm so glad that God chose me to be his mother and for him to be my child. And I'm so glad for him and the things that's going on with him. And we want to send a special shout out to Jordan, Jeremiah, and Antoine, who did not want to join us tonight, but we send them love and shout outs as well. So we'll go ahead and allow you to close us out in prayer, and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. And I'll let you have the rest of your night back, son.
All right. I just want, Father God, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be on this live. Just want to say thank you to everyone that showed out and supported that Wave Ministry, that they continue to do great, great, great things. You know, every hand that touches in the worketh in the Wave Ministry is going to do big, big things, and that Wave is going to be a big, big industry where a lot of um, females and guys and children and teenagers and everyone that is in the world that needs some encouragement, some a helping hand, that last little push to keep going and to trust the process and let God work today. We'll just tune in and just listen to what we're saying and what others are saying as they get on here. I just want to say thank you for allowing all of us to be safe. I just want to say um, thank you to my mom for allowing me to be on here and for inviting me on here. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone that supported me, everyone that's in the military that did support me. Just want to say thank you, God, for encouraging me to do YouTube, encouraging my mom to do this. Um, and just want to say I hope everyone is safe. I love you all, and I hope God is on your heart and He keeps all of you healthy and all of you is safe and out of harm's way. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
And amen. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Bridging the Gap from War to Wisdom. Tyrell, I thank you. I pray that, God's hand will continue to remain upon you as He blesses you abundantly in everything. Those who are watching, thank you all for tuning in and taking out the time to join in with us for our discussion. If you have not already, follow on YouTube, King Rail. Go ahead and subscribe on our website, womenachievingvictory.org. And we want to encourage you and empower you, and just to remind you that you have the power to do anything that you put your mind to. And as my son says, and we say together, trust
Trust
the
the
process.
process.
You wonderful winning Wednesday. Purpose. Good night.
Good night.